What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to T3G. My name is Dalibor, and do you remember this guy? Do you remember the LG Wing? Do you remember? We had a good time talking about it, updating about it. Then I broke it. Well, today we're gonna fix it.
Whatever it is that you do, do the damn thing.
Now, the first thing to talk about is the fact that this thing survived several drops before it finally went. One day, had it in my pocket, the pant pocket, like they were shorts, so they're already like, what's the word, like slippery. They're not like, they're not like grippy pockets. I don't even know the word I'm looking for here. Nonetheless, it didn't like stay in the pocket. It got out of pocket real fast. Getting out of the car, open the door, just pops right out of my pocket. And the screen cracks. That's a bummer, right? But the whole screen still works. So I'm like, hey, it's just the glass, right? It's the glass that's the problem. Look up a few videos. It looks to be a complicated repair, but I'm like, look, I'm a patient guy. I can take my time with this and get the right thing done for the cheapest possible price. The replacement screen, I think, was something in the range of like 20 bucks. Like it's literally just the glass layer. And I'm like, I could do this. Take my time, peel off the glass layer and put a new one on, and we all move on with our lives, right? Everything is hunky-dory till I broke the digitizer, which, is the thing that makes it work. At which point I needed to order an entire replacement screen module. So I did that, and it worked for a couple days, but I noticed like a little bit of a glitch here and there. Like I'd press it a little too hard and it would like freak out for a second. I'm like, maybe like a bad module. It was about $160 for the replacement module. And that's what's on here now. It's perfect fit, everything like that. Perfectly fit into the thing. And it just got worse. It got worse and worse over time to the point that nothing happens when you see, like when you turn it on, you might get the fingerprint icon, but it won't read the fingerprint. And if I open it and unlock it from the bottom, it will just show black up here until I lock it, and then it shows like the date and time, but only like portion of it. So I'm like, what is going on? Take it apart, put it back together, probably like 12 times. And the last time I'm like, you know what? Let me get a little Louis Rossman on this. Let me get closer to the problem. Because I'm thinking maybe when I put the ribbon cable in, it was like a bad connection or something. Let me get a little Louis Rossman on this. So I set up my Pixel 2 XL, which is what I've been stuck with since this happened. Pixel 2 XL on an arm, zoom in as far as I can, which, man, I gotta tell you, Pixel 2 XL to this day, still a great deal. That camera, I mean, I figured out the problem. I'm looking at it and I'm seeing the one side of the ribbon cable connection, aces, no problem. Other side looks like it's bent. So I'm like, maybe I pushed it in too hard. I try moving it and then I realize the entire side is moving. And then I remember, while I was waiting for the replacement display unit, I'm like, hey, let me disassemble this. Maybe I could take off the front display, the whole front display, only so I was already in there, right? I was already halfway unglued and glass was halfway off. I'm like, let me just take the whole front off. That way when I get the replacement, slap it in, move on. Problem is I also yanked the cable out, and I thought maybe it was like a slide-in cable, so I just pulled it out where it was supposed to slide in. It was not. It is a snap-on cable, and what I did is I ripped it off that connection, and that's how it got damaged. So in effect, I do have a working display replacement, but I don't have a working front display. That's, it's a compounding problem when you don't do it right the first time. So I went ahead and I figured, what can I do? I'm like, let me explore some new phones, possibly the Moto Stylus. Like, it's a decent price, especially for what it is. Plus it's 5G. I really, really miss the 5G. And I found one of these. This is a display unit. Demo unit, LG Wing, fully functional, supposedly. I mean, we can pop it on real quick. Pops on, perfectly working front display. The back is really, really pretty. The whole thing is in really good shape. Really good shape. Problem is, it's software locked, so you cannot activate with a carrier because it's a demo unit. It's in demo mode. The problem with that is I can't activate, right? So what would I have to do to use it? See, it says service can we, no, refocus, recolor, there it is, service disabled right there. So I'm thinking, what can I do? Oh, the service is disabled, but the screen's not disabled. So for another $199, I went ahead and purchased. I'm gonna pull off this entire front display and I'm just gonna swap it with the one that's on mine. That way, my phone still perfectly working. So the camera module. I wonder if I can swap the camera module. Huh. Nah, let's not make it complicated. We're just gonna go ahead and swap the display, and that's how we're gonna get back to a working modern phone. Stay tuned. And there it is, fully functional LG wing. Now I've got some extra pieces. I did break the back of the replacement unit, but the back of the original is fine, so no big deal there. So now I'm left with a bunch of spare parts, spare screws, just in case. Probably all for the better that I didn't end up activating this one, because, well, I mean, plus, like, I looked into it. It's a mess of software to try to get it activated, so I'm not interested in that. It took me about 7 years to root one single tablet. And basically, it's just because everyone had already done all the legwork, and I was just like, click, 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 and it's rooted now. That's really all I had to do. I'm not that deep into it. But the original LG Wing is fully functional now, well, except that whole software thing where the camera doesn't work, but maybe that'll get fixed with the next Blast update, but who knows about that? That's a LG problem, and they don't exist anymore as far as mobile, so that's just a thing I'm gonna have to live with, which, I mean, I wasn't using it that much to begin with. Now I'm gonna throw up on the screen here the shot of the exact issue that I was describing. This is the damage on the board of the original, as you can see here, compared to the connector next to it. This is missing half the connector because it got ripped off, and it was basically just maintaining a sporadic connection. That's why when I would touch it, the contacts would disconnect, so the screen freaked out. Ultimately, with the replacement screen, which had I just gotten the replacement device to begin with to swap out the whole front anyway, it would have been just the $199, but ultimately it did end up being about, what was that, $360 roughly total. And I'm also expecting a kind of an ingenious thing that the community created, because apparently LG couldn't be bothered to create a front protector properly. Somebody created a 3D printed front case with kind of like raised bumpers. We'll see how that works. I'm not sure how it will affect usage, but I'm going to do a whole separate video on that and see what kind of benefit we can get out of it. That's going to be it for this one. I am a happy boy. I have a working LG Wing again, and I have a fast phone, and I have 5G again, because, man, that was killing me. And maybe we'll do like a whole separate video about like how our patience has gotten shorter and shorter as our internet speeds have gotten faster and faster. Maybe that's a whole separate video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.